What does it really take to lead a company through chaos, uncertainty, and near disaster? What separates successful CEOs from those who collapse under pressure? In The Hard Thing About Hard Things, Building a Business When There Are No Easy Answers, Ben Horowitz, legendary entrepreneur, venture capitalist, and co-founder of Andreessen Horowitz, gives a brutally honest look at what it's really like to build and run a company. Unlike most business books filled with formulas and motivational quotes, The Hard Thing About Hard Things tells the truth. Leadership is hard, messy, and full of impossible decisions. There are no perfect answers, only choices. Horowitz draws on his own experience building and leading LoudCloud and Opsware companies that faced near collapse during the dot-com crash before selling to Hewlett-Packard for over $1 billion. His lessons are not theoretical, they're forged in the heat of survival. The first lesson is to embrace the struggle. Every entrepreneur faces moments of doubt, fear, and exhaustion. Horowitz calls this the struggle, the period when nothing works, the team is losing faith, and the future looks uncertain. Many leaders hide this pain, but Horowitz insists the struggle is unavoidable. The key is to accept it, stay calm, and keep moving forward. Leaders who survive the struggle don't avoid pain, they endure it with purpose. The second lesson is that there are no easy answers. Business schools and management books often offer neat solutions, but in real life, problems are ambiguous and painful. Sometimes, every option is bad. Great leaders are not those who always know what to do, but those who can make tough decisions under uncertainty, take responsibility for them, and move on. Leadership, Horowitz reminds us, is about doing the hard things when no one else will. The third lesson is that being a CEO is lonely. No matter how good your team is, there are decisions only you can make: layoffs, funding crises, or strategy pivots. Horowitz describes the psychological toll of leadership, the pressure, the self-doubt, the isolation. The best CEOs find ways to manage this loneliness by building support systems, mentors, peers, and trusted advisors without burdening their teams with fear. The fourth lesson is to manage people with clarity and honesty. When bad news comes: layoffs, missed targets, or funding challenges, leaders must communicate openly. Sugarcoating problems erodes trust. Horowitz emphasizes that transparency, even when painful, builds respect and loyalty. People can handle tough news. What they can't handle is being misled. The fifth lesson is how to handle layoffs with dignity. Horowitz explains that firing people is one of the hardest things a CEO will ever do. It's never easy, and it should never become routine. But when it's necessary, it must be done quickly, clearly, and compassionately. He insists that leaders owe people honesty, empathy, and as much support as possible during transitions. The goal is to act like a human being first, a boss second. The sixth lesson is to hire and train leaders, not just employees. As companies grow, the CEO's job changes from doing to leading. Horowitz emphasizes the importance of hiring executives who can scale with the company and mentoring them to succeed. A great CEO doesn't just build a product, they build a leadership team capable of multiplying impact. The seventh lesson is to focus on what you can control. When chaos hits, markets crash, competitors emerge, investors panic, it's easy to fixate on things outside your control. But Horowitz learned that the best CEOs narrow their focus to the essentials: products, customers, and people. By controlling what they can, they create stability amid chaos. The eighth lesson is to make decisions fast and learn quickly. In uncertain environments, waiting for perfect information is fatal. Leaders must act decisively, knowing that not every decision will be right. The goal is to make the best call you can, learn from the outcome, and adjust. Speed and adaptability beat perfection every time. The 9th lesson is to put culture first. Company culture is not about perks or slogans. It's about consistent behavior under pressure. Horowitz argues that culture is built by the decisions leaders make when things go wrong. Do you blame people or take responsibility? Do you cut corners or stay ethical? Every action reinforces what the company truly values. Culture is what you do, not what you say. The 10th lesson is to train yourself for wartime. Horowitz divides leadership into 2 modes, peacetime and wartime. Peacetime CEOs focus on growth, optimization, and scaling. Wartime CEOs focus on survival, speed, and clarity. Most leaders prefer peacetime, it's comfortable. But true greatness is forged in wartime. When the company faces existential threats, leaders must be decisive, ruthless about priorities, and courageous enough to make unpopular calls. The 11th lesson is the importance of mental resilience. Horowitz describes sleepless nights filled with anxiety, fear of failure, and the crushing weight of responsibility. He explains that surviving as a CEO requires emotional endurance, the ability to stay calm in chaos, think clearly under stress, and keep moving when everything hurts. It's not about feeling fearless, but about acting in spite of fear. The 12th lesson is the CEO's main job. Make decisions, build the team, and set the vision. Everything else can be delegated. The CEO must focus relentlessly on hiring the best people, making the right strategic calls, and keeping the company aligned toward a shared goal. When in doubt, Horowitz advises, don't put it off. Make the hard decision now. So how do we apply the hard thing about hard things today? First, accept that leadership is hard. The struggle is not a sign of failure, it's part of the process. Second, stay transparent and honest with your team. Third, make tough decisions with empathy and speed. Fourth, focus on what you can control. Fifth, build a strong team and culture before you need them. Sixth, act fast, learn fast, and pivot when necessary. Seventh, understand whether you're in peacetime or wartime and lead accordingly. Eighth, build mental resilience. Take care of your mind as much as your business. Ninth, define your job clearly. Make decisions, build the team, set direction. 10th, never give up in the struggle. The greatest leaders are the ones who refuse to quit when things get hardest. Modern relevance is undeniable. In today's startup world, leadership is more complex and uncertain than ever. Markets shift overnight, crises come unexpectedly, and competition never sleeps. Horowitz's lessons remind us that leadership isn't about avoiding problems, it's about facing them head-on. Entrepreneurs, managers, and even individuals can apply these principles to any challenge. Clarity, courage, and endurance matter more than perfection. Think about your own work or life. Everyone faces hard things, failures, rejections, and moments when nothing seems to work. Horowitz's message applies beyond business. Progress comes from persistence. When everything feels uncertain, when you've tried everything and nothing seems to work, remember, the struggle is the path. The only real failure is giving up. Perhaps the most powerful part of the hard thing about hard things is its honesty. There's no sugarcoating, no empty inspiration, just the truth. Success is built on hard choices, sleepless nights, and painful lessons. Leadership, at its core, is the willingness to do what others can't or won't. The big takeaway from the hard thing about hard things is this: there are no easy answers. Leadership is not about avoiding pain, but about facing it with integrity, courage, and resilience. The best leaders don't have all the answers. They simply refuse to give up. That was The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz, broken down into its most powerful lessons in under 10 minutes. Which lesson resonates most with you embracing the struggle, leading in wartime, or building resilient teams? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this summary, make sure to like this video, subscribe to 10-Minute Books, and ring the bell so you never miss our weekly breakdowns of life-changing books. Thanks for watching, and remember, the hard thing about hard things is that they never get easier, but you get stronger.